In our last video, we spent some time in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and now it's time to hit the road and continue on our road trip. We are going to travel through the breadbasket of America and see some actually interesting sights, but we meet some fantastic people along the way too. Join us as we take the historic Santa Fe Trail from Santa Fe, New Mexico, hit 4 different states, and end up in Salina, Kansas. Here we go. We are in Las Vegas, New Mexico. Not at all a competitor for Las Vegas, Nevada.
You can't gamble here.
Okay, we didn't appreciate Las Vegas, New Mexico while we drove through it because it wasn't until after we were gone that we learned that Doc Holliday actually lived there for quite a bit of time. Okay, so we're driving through, we are right now on the Santa Fe Trail, which I feel like is a big deal because we've been seeing like memorial stuff for the Santa Fe Trail everywhere, but I don't know anything about it, so maybe we'll find out and then we will let you know. But in the meantime, what?
Well, I was just going to say, and as we're doing this, we're riding along, listening to a podcast called Legends of the Old West, and we wanted to learn a little bit more about Dodge City and Wyatt Earp and Tombstone and stuff like that. So it all kind of ties in, right? This all goes back to those frontier days in the 1800s and, you know, how the West was won.
So we're staying tonight. The goal is to stay tonight in Salina, Kansas, which is where Mark went to high school and graduated high school.
Yes.
So he's going to show me all his old stomping grounds. But before we get there, we got to go through Dodge City.
It's Dodge City. It was a cow town. I mean, that's how it made its name. They run all the cattle up from Texas, and all these cowboys would be on the trail for weeks, and then boom, they're in Dodge City, and you got it all in Dodge City back then. And the reason it all ended, and I believe it was around 1875, 1880, is that the Texas cattle got a disease, and the governor of Kansas said, nope, no more Texas cattle because you're going to infest us. And that's how it all kind of ended. And that is the first documented case of mad cow disease. We do that. We are not doctors.
If you're new to the Empty Nester Life channel, we just want to let you know that when you see us talk about some different facts and things like that, always do your own research, because 80% of what we say is true. The other 20% we really either A, don't really know, or B, we're joking. So
still in New Mexico on the Santa Fe Trail.
As you can see, lots of interesting
landmarks.
So yeah, this was basically our view. We're in the middle of nowhere. We did get to see some interesting livestock and farm animals along the way, so that kept it a little interesting. But I have to tell you, started to get a little nervous because, you know, you need bathroom and gas and things like that. And then we stumbled on maybe our favorite find of this leg of the trip.
And there's nothing as far as the eyes can see. So we've had some surprises along the roadway, and we're in Gladstone, New Mexico, at a little mercantile shop. They make amazing sourdough bread right there, and then they have all these different options for you, because there's really nothing around here. Here's the owners of the establishment right here. What's your name?
I'm Tori.
Tori, what's your name?
I'm Cody.
And Cody?
Cody.
Nice. So you guys have been running this 6 years, huh?
6 years.
Very.
My first was 6 years.
It's very cool. You can smell the fresh baked bread, just like I can't talk.
You can smell it. He can't say it.
You can smell it. Anyway, it's awesome.
Oh my gosh! Look at that. That is. Now what is that we're looking at here?
Our sourdough bread that we make for our sandwiches.
It's hot. Okay.
We have a little bit of everything. We might not have it on the shelf, but a lot of people will call and say, hey, do you have this in the area? And we usually find it. Or we have someone always going to town. So we do that here. Just
That's awesome.
to a small time feel.
I love it. I love it. So if you're coming through, you can stop for beverages. You can stop for. So we got.
Snack.
I got a little Dr. Pepper and a thing of bread.
Oh, you got Indian tea right
We
here.
sell local products
Nice.
and New Mexico items.
That's
They
neat.
got,
Here's a company from New Mexico.
got doggy bones, I think. Is it doggy bones?
Yeah. My husband makes the doggy bones, and those 100% of dogs have approved so far.
Nice.
Barbecue
Our dog is-
brisket.
About 6 months.
Our dog is not with us today. She's back in Arizona.
We stayed and chatted with them, but then it was time to hit the road. So we started to leave, but they actually called us back in. Oh! It's a hot buttered roll, and I'm pretty excited.
I'm not supposed to be eating this carbohydrates, any of this kind of stuff. This is not heart smart. But heart smart or not, now and then you got to break training.
It's taste bud smart, though.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
That is as good as you're ever going to get. Right here in Gladstone, New Mexico. Population 5.
I'm glad I had to go to the bathroom. That's why we stopped. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Fortuitous. She's probably going to eat the rest of that roll. I'm never going to see that thing again. Oh.
It's a good thing you said something or I would have.
We have verified that there is a stop light in Clayton, New Mexico. And this is definitely a one-horse town here. This is the epitome of a one-horse town, Clayton, New Mexico.
Absolutely. This is what you would think of when you hear the song One Horse Town.
If I didn't think that it would shut the whole place down, I'd ride my pony right out of this one-horse town.
Really small, really cute. But they had a coffee shop. Oklahoma cornfields.
Oklahoma.
Got some greenery here in Oklahoma. These are alfalfa fields. Obviously they're trimmed down, but that's what that is. That's an alfalfa field right there. So this is our first taste of Kansas right here. This is Elkhart. So like Jackie said, there was no real fanfare coming into Kansas. There was no marquee or anything like that, but
Wait a minute, we're still in Oklahoma.
we're in Oklahoma.
That's why we haven't seen any fanfare.
No fanfare.
There it is.
Yeah.
Here we are.
So here we are.
Now we are in Kansas.
Yeah, we just passed into Kansas.
Welcome to Kansas and welcome to Shannon's Liquor. Time we crossed the Kansas border until we hit Dodge City. It took a couple of hours and we saw a lot of small towns and a lot of open fields on the way.
The world famous Dodge City, ladies and gentlemen. This is made famous by Wyatt Earp in the Old West. Dodge City, established in 1872.
Guess where we are?
Dodge City?
We are in Dodge City.
Historic Dodge City.
That's right. And I think we mentioned on the way over here, we were listening to a Wyatt Earp Tombstone podcast. And so we were like, how cool. We're going to go through Dodge City. We're going to stop and experience it.
Little known fact, he spent 28 months in Dodge City before he left for Tombstone. So
We're going to spend not that long.
28 hours. About 3 hours in Dodge City.
And with us, first stop, Central Station Bar and Grill. We stopped at Central Station. Honestly, we were so hungry by the time we got there. We completely forgot to video any of our food or whatever, but it's a really cute little place. It's got a lot going on, so if you're in Dodge City, definitely check it out. So we're in Dodge City and we just ran into one of their most famous residents.
He's a law dog. Oh, Wyatt Earp right behind us. Here's another little trivia fact. There were actually 6 Earp brothers.
I thought there were 4.
6.
Fact check. Okay, I don't say it often, but Mark was right. Anyway, we had to hit the road. We didn't have a lot of extra time to spend in Dodge City, but we did stretch our legs a little bit and walk through the cute little downtown area. And then we hit the road and headed on to Salina, Kansas. It was pretty late by the time we got in, so no video that the next day. Okay, so we're in Salina, Kansas, and
23 degrees.
do you see that? It's cold. This is where we stayed in Salina, the Courtyard Marriott, which was actually quite lovely. Well, good morning. So we just got done having breakfast with an old high school buddy of Mark's.
Steve Blackwell. Yeah, really cool. Hadn't seen him for 46 years. It's a long time. We're gonna drive by Salina South High School. It's actually where I graduated high school. I went to high school spent all my first 15 years in Minnesota, 2 years in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I was in a rock and roll band, that kind of stuff. And then moved to Salina the middle of my junior year, and I had some great friends here and great football and wrestling memories. And so we really like Salina. And it's a lovely, clean town here in Kansas. And I've got to go right turn here.
Yeah, pay attention there.
Pay attention.
buddy.
Listen, don't go dying. I always say, don't go dying. This is my old neighborhood.
This is your old,
Right
your old
kinda
hood.
through here, yeah.
It's a really pretty little town. I like it.
Yeah, it is.
Mark and his old high school. Look at that.
A little different, but exact same location.
Oh my gosh, check out the price here. That is pretty amazing.
One of the major challenges we've been facing is trying to eat healthy on the road. And it's really super difficult to do. Number one, if you're in a strange town, you don't know where to go.
Right.
You try to look on the internet and you try to see what their menu reads like. But it's difficult to still even kind of extrapolate, how healthy the menu is.
Other thing is too is like a lot of times, so we're on a road trip. A lot of times, you're in between places, and the only options you have are at the convenience stores, the gas stations. So, like, how do you find something there?
Yeah, yesterday, Jackie found some low sodium almonds.
Yes.
As you'll see in either preceding or whatever videos, I've got to watch what I eat, and so it just makes it difficult. And I'm sure you've all experienced this. This is something that everybody's experienced. I mean, we can all eat Twinkies all day long. I saw the Pringles today, and I'm like, man, those Pringles would be tasty.
The other thing is that when you kind of make that conscious decision, like, well, this is on the healthy side, but it's not exactly ideal. And so you're okay to make those decisions every once in a while, but when you're on, like, right now we're on a 10-day road trip, so after a couple of times of blowing it, you're like, I don't want to blow it anymore. So we're gonna give some tips on ways to eat healthy on the road trip, but also from the place of, like, we're trying to figure it out. So if you have a tip when you're on a road trip or traveling, like, how do you do it? How do you eat healthy? Definitely leave that in the comments. We want to know. And just like that, we roll into Omaha, Nebraska, where we are here for a wedding for a family friend. And so make sure you join us. That will be our next video, is our time in Omaha. And I will give you a little spoiler. We actually look at a loft condo for sale while we're here, so we're going to show that to you as well. Make sure you're subscribed to the Empty Nester Life. This has been Mark and Jackie. Thanks for joining us.